Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, how are you guys doing? A few weeks back, we talked about triathlon gear and the cost of triathlon gear. Very serious video, just talking about how expensive you can expect our sport to be. And we came up with a pretty budget list of triathlon gear, and I'll link to the video right up here if you guys want to check that out. But it kind of gives you everything that you need, and I think we ended up with a total price tag of around $1,500. But in this video, what I figured we would do is go the exact opposite direction. And this video is really targeting those 1%ers. Definitely Daddy Warbucks, I'm talking to you. Just those people that are curious about how expensive triathlon gear can be. Okay, just like before, we're just gonna take this in order of events, so swimming, biking, and then running. And the first thing that you'll probably do is put on your triathlon kit. Roka makes one that actually looks pretty cool. It's their Gen 2 Elite Aero. Their short sleeve version is $275. Pretty expensive, but it actually looks like a pretty cool suit. Again, also, I really do like the Roka company. Their stuff is very nice, but a little bit on the pricey side. They have a wetsuit called the Maverick X, and I think it's priced at around $950. I did do a video talking about that particular wetsuit, really going over wetsuit fit stuff, and it's an older video, but I'll link to it up here. As far as goggles goes, I've mentioned before that the goggles that I use kind of on the daily basis, as well as race with, are really only $7. So that's really not gonna cut it for this video. There's a new company that makes goggles. They're called Form goggles, and they actually have like a heads-up display inside the goggles, just giving you split times and things like that. Super interesting company. I am eager to kind of get my hands on those and do a review of those particular goggles. Those goggles will set you back about $200, so obviously we'll make that choice when we're putting together our expensive triathlon gear. We could probably spend more money on swimming, but after we get out of the water and we hop onto the bike, there's so much money that we can spend. And one of the shoes that I definitely want to check out at some point but can't afford is a company called Bont cycling shoes. They have a shoe called the Bont Zero. It retails for $569. I guess it's just really aerodynamic. Supposedly the fit on the Bont shoes are really good. Definitely would love to try it out. So if any of you guys want to buy me a pair, definitely let me know. And as for cycling sunglasses, I use really cheap cycling sunglasses, but I've always wanted to try some nicer sunglasses. Oakley makes a pair of sunglasses called the Jawbreakers. They're just kind of those bigger sunglasses that has really good coverage on the face. Those will set you back about $216. So a little bit pricey, but I'm sure they're very nice. And if you had an unlimited budget for triathlon time trial helmet, I'd probably still go with this one, which is the Giro Aerohead. It comes in two different varieties. One is just the normal variety, and it has some extra vents in the helmet. And the ultimate variety, which doesn't have the ventilation and is a little bit lighter, just because it's built with carbon fiber. And I've been seeing these online for about $175 for the normal one, and $275 for the ultimate version of the helmet. I think suggested retail for the ultimate is like $550. So if you guys are interested in a helmet like this, just be sure that you look for deals online. And with all of these items, I'll be sure to link where you can buy them down below in the description. And anytime you guys do end up buying something through this channel, it does help support the channel, you know, at no additional cost to you. I just happen to use affiliate links when I list some of this gear. And I wish I could do affiliate links for bikes themselves, because the biggest ticket item on this list is the actual time trial bike itself. And I might be in the market for a time trial bike in the near future. I don't know if I would go this extreme, but I probably wouldn't choose Trek again just because of what happened to me in the past. And I'll leave a link to that story up here as well. But one of the bikes that I think is super interesting, a little bit controversial because a lot of people don't like the way it looks, but the Specialized S-Work Shiv disc bike. They actually have what they call like their limited edition bike. I actually think it looks okay. I think people probably have an issue with the large water tank kind of hanging off the back of the bike, just making the bike look weird. But I don't think that you would necessarily use that in most of your day-to-day training, and the bike looks pretty reasonable with it off. But then I definitely would put it back on when racing, just because of the additional aerodynamic benefits, as well as having that extra hydration back there. And the Specialized S-Works Shiv, the new one, the limited edition one, comes in at a cool $14,000. And I think the limited edition version comes with the Shimano Dura Ace component set, but I actually like the Sram Red Access component set, which you can get as one of the component sets for this particular bike. And I did do a video talking about that Sram Access Red component set, and I'll leave a link to it up here. Super cool component set, definitely worth checking out that video. And when I'm racing triathlon, I actually like to have a bike computer on the time trial bike. And currently my recommendation for bike computers is the Garmin 530. I think it just fits the needs of a lot of people without having a lot of extra stuff that either gets in the way or can actually make the bike computer slightly worse, as in touchscreens. But another option might be the Garmin Edge 1030. It's a bigger bike computer, and we must assume that bigger is better. If you buy the bike bundle for the Garmin Edge 1030, that one will set you back $700. And just for comparison, that 530 is only $300. And while we're talking about tech, let's talk about watches. I have the 945 here, and I've definitely made a few videos about it. I'll leave a link to one of them up here, but that'll cost you about $600. If you get the Triathlon bundle, it will cost you $750. Definitely one of the nicest watches on the market for triathlon. You can save money. There's definitely some really great other options on the market. I really think the 935 is a fantastic option. If you can find that one either used or discounted, it would be a fantastic purchase. And other technology as far as bike goes, I think we would want a power meter. And I used to think that SRM made, some of the best power meters on the market. But even if I had an unlimited budget, I really don't think with the current market that I would buy an SRM power meter. And the reason for that is just because currently they don't actually have like a continuous temperature monitor for the power meter, which can pretty wildly affect your actual power readings. And so with an unlimited budget, I would probably still go with something like a Garmin Vector 3 power meter, which costs about $600. And also from Garmin, one item that I really do like, and I think it's important for all of us to consider, is just their Garmin VARIA radar product. I've talked about this on the channel as well, and I'll definitely do another review of their new radar system, but it's just a really nice, safe way for you guys to see when traffic is coming up on you quickly from behind, and just make you that much more aware of when cars are passing. And these cost about $200, and I actually think it's worth the money. Okay, continuing on with biking, tires and tubes. I would suggest, going with latex tubes. They cost a little bit of extra money, but definitely worth it. Maybe $10 per tube. For a pair of tires, you might spend $100. Maybe try something like the VITTORIA CORSA Speeds, just because those are very fast tires. And while we're spending money on bike stuff, SILICA is a company that I really, really like. Unfortunately, I can't afford any of their gear just because it is very, very high end. For example, they make a floor pump for $450. Again, the tire pressure itself as you're pumping it is extremely accurate, and they just make really high quality stuff. I wish I could afford it, but unfortunately, it's probably not going to be something that I'm gonna pick up in the near future. They make a lot of other fantastic stuff, bike tools, flat repair kits. They actually make bar tape. I think their bar tape is like $44 for a roll of bar tape. I'm sure it's fantastic. I don't know, maybe someday, but probably not. But super cool company. Wish I could afford more of their stuff. And once we're off the bike, we're gonna need to come up with some sort of super pricey running shoes to put on. And obviously we're gonna choose some sort of Nike 4% type shoe. I think their latest variety is that Vaporfly Next Percent, and those will cost us about $250. And while all of this gear will help bring you to the finish line of a triathlon, you'll probably want to pick up a couple of other items just to work with for your training. One in particular, some sort of indoor bike trainer. One of the nicest ones is the TRAX Neo 2. That one costs about $1,400. There are other varieties that are a little bit better priced, but that one is a very, very nice one. You could probably spend even more. I think Wahoo just announced their brand new indoor bike itself for $3,500. But I think if I had unlimited funding, I'd actually prefer to have my bike on the trainer just to get the fit dialed in and just to have the feel of your own bike itself. And when you're on that indoor trainer, you're gonna wanna have some sort of workout software. A Zwift account, a yearly Zwift account will run you about $180 per year. There are other annual accounts that you might want to check out as well. One in particular, Training Peaks, is one that you might want to have just so that you can collect all of your training data in one place and you and your coach can have some place to go over all of that data. A Training Peaks account will cost you about $120 per year. And to show off to your friends how good your training is going, you're gonna wanna spring for something like a STRAVA premium account. They don't call it premium anymore. I think they call it like their summit packs. They have 3 different varieties of summit packs. You'll wanna pick up all 3 of those, and that will set you back about $60 per year. But one of the smartest things you could potentially purchase that I actually haven't mentioned yet on this video is a triathlon coach. And that can be a little bit expensive, maybe somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000 per year for an experienced triathlon coach. But it seems like that might be one of the most beneficial purchases that you can actually make. When I look at this list, it actually seems like that might be the smartest purchase. And I'll leave a link to the breakdown of all of this triathlon gear, just in a spreadsheet down in the description of this video. And when we tally all of those items up, we've spent just about $22,000 just on triathlon related stuff. But I'm sure I actually missed quite a few things. And maybe some of you guys aren't batting an eye at that price tag. And that maybe is actually helpful for our sport. Hopefully we'll get some of that trickle down effect with some of the gear working its way down to some more affordable prices for the rest of us. And on this YouTube channel, I'll try to do some product reviews, both for that really expensive high-end category of triathlon gear, as well as the more affordable gear. And if you're into this sort of stuff, and that would be swimming, biking, and running, consider subscribing. There's a subscribe button down below here somewhere, and there's also a notification bell, and that just allows you to be notified of whenever I post new videos, which I try to post about once per week. All right, guys, thanks for having a little bit of fun with me here on this video, and we will see you guys on the next one.